Hello, it is Starlight Brigade Adventures in Wild Space. We are a couple down tonight. Zero is away on a honeymoon, having just got married, and the mad cartographer is a terrible person. Around the table, we have everybody else today. And I think Chija is going to do our recap, did she say? For sweet inspiration?
You're such a bad person.
Is that what I remember, or did I forget
You're such a bad person. Sure.
For inspiration, one for you, and one that you can assign to somebody else.
Cool.
And also, happy birthday to Luca Lock.
Oh, happy birthday, Luca.
It's even reflected in the overlay.
Clearly, Luca gets the additional inspiration as a birthday gift, at least. All right, so last we left off, the Moon Dancer ship pulled into the docks of the Rock of Brawl, and we took the prisoner, the Saryxian elf that we had captured, who had assailed their ship. We took him to the courthouse, expecting some sort of swift justice. Or at least, an authority to take responsibility for the attacks that had happened on the previous planet. Instead, we found out that Saryxians have diplomatic immunity in this planet, since the Baron is Saryxian himself. So that backfires in spectacular fashion. So we did the only reasonable thing and went to a tavern to consume lots of beverages and some food, not enough for the amount of beverage consumed. And to meet up with Commodore Crux, who Captain Elena had told us was maybe able to give us some work for us as crew. So we did find Commodore Crux, who had been drinking a little bit, but still was able to fire his... A little bit, yeah. And he doesn't seem to be a fan of the Empire, which is great, because neither are we. And he was quite keen. Well, he told us some interesting things. First, he told us that the planet we'd been to could maybe be saved. And he told us that he might know where the next attack might take place. But we needed to go visit a cartographer in order to get there. So we should go to his ship. Unfortunately, he doesn't have his ship, having had put it up as a wager and lost it to the casino. So clearly the only reasonable thing to do is to do a heist of the casino and rescue the helm crystals.
The spell-jamming helm control crystal. The means by which the ship can fly.
Exactly. And we were on the way to his flat to discuss the finer details of this plan, which will go swimmingly, I'm sure, when we got attacked again by some more astral elves, who are becoming our least favorite kind of elves. We dispatched them, and Balthasar, I believe, found a note on their leader's accoutrement saying that, basically implying that these elves have been given permission to attack us, as long as they were discreet. Signed by a mysterious Gaderick Main, who I believe Balthasar wanted to ask Commodore who that person was once we reached safety. And that's what we did last session.
Thank you very much. Yes, so you were jumped, you fought your way through it, and now you find yourselves in the Commodore's lodgings. A very small, not quite dilapidated, but bordering on it, little wooden hut in a bad part of town. You hear the sounds of the streets nearby as he pulls up the single stool in his place, sits down on it, but then gestures round as if inviting you all to sit on seats that aren't provided. As a reminder, the Commodore no longer with his parrot. The parrot was a property of the Happy Beholder, and was owned by Large Luigi, the friendly beholder. So it is now just him, Sandsbird, as he lowers himself. Just, is everybody all right? That was quite the hoisky-poisky.
So that would be before the rest that we already have applied mechanically.
You're in a rare, because it's convenient for the DM sense, you rest. This is my morning, man. This is my morning. Yeah,
Okay.
you will rest at some point during this interaction. Sure.
I see.
I've already applied it to all your character sheets.
Yeah, in that case, we're feeling great, I guess.
Yeah, I feel fucking brilliant.
I feel like I wasn't dying yesterday.
Food.
Food. I have. So reaches under the table and pulls out like a wax paper wrapped parcel. It's like some ration. Just throws it onto the table. It's like I tend to eat it at a beholder.
Eat. Truly.
Sometimes it makes the next swig taste colder and more refreshing.
I see.
You handled yourselves very well there. Each and every one of you.
You not really. You okay?
I took down 3 of them.
No.
2 of them.
You shoot bad when you drink.
I should. I'll tell you a secret. If I didn't drink, I would shoot too good. This keeps it fair, keeps it even. You understand?
No.
Keeps the playing field level, but now it has been too long. I could shoot a grape off a pixie's head at 1,000 feet with this headache coming in. As good as you are, that is not what is needed to get my ship back. You cannot go into the allure with your guns and mauls ablazing. What do you know of the tigers?
Nothing.
Like the big cat?
You know, in a manner of speaking. The tigers are a crime gang that run a part of the rock. We're run by a goblin I mentioned to you, Mr. Big. And the casino is his forefront. Mr. Big runs the Allure, a very special casino, a very illegal casino. It's his own private little empire inside. Excellent cocktails. Most of all, they use the rarest of, a lot of gold, a lot of influential people, but it's very, very high security. Weapons are taken at the door, handed in. Anyone attempting to sneak in with weapons, banned for life. Magical protection all around the main game areas to prevent cheating and things like that, so no magic. No weapons, no magic. Many guards. Some human, some not. Eyes of man and eyes of machine. And tucked away somewhere in there, my suite. The keys to my suite.
Well, can't never could. So I'm sure we'll figure out a way. But
Could never what?
could never get anything done. You know, like
Which one of you is?
they can't.
Which one of you is
and
can't?
won't.
Oh. I should drink again. Go on then.
If you could just catch me up, I feel like I had a little bit too much to drink. And then we got into a fight, and the whole thing's just kind of a little bit of a blur, and I'm hanging in there like a hair on a biscuit. So you want us to go into this allure where we're going to come across Mr. Big and his empire, and I assume that's one of those funny little names where it's like he's named Mr. Big, but he's actually a really small little goblin guy. Or, you know, maybe it's literal, or maybe he was just born with it and he's just rolling with it. And we're
His
gonna go
full
in
name
there.
is Brian Egg.
Oh, that's clever. I like that. So we're gonna go in there and just somehow acquire your keys out of some vault.
This is my hope, and the wheel upon which our arrangement turns, yes? What is your name again, sorry? I have to confess, you didn't make much of an impression in the tavern.
I know. I mean, you know, you could have just. It's like I wasn't even there, really. My name's Harmonia, but you can call me Ham.
Well, Harmonia. And you're quiet. Oh, he's gone. There was another one before with a guitar.
One
He's
with
gone.
the creepy laugh. Yeah, he'll turn up. I'm sure.
Yeah, you'll be thankful he's not playing.
Playing?
His guitar.
Oh, okay. The allure is impossible to get into. But I have. He goes digging around in a back pocket and pulls out what effectively to us would look like a credit card. With a slight purple shimmer to it. Is a through my connections, I have come across this. Mine was taken away from me when I was so unceremoniously removed from the premises. But this will gain entrance to the allure.
We can't just like walk up and say, "Hey, we're looking to gamble."
It's very exclusive. Invite and membership only.
Oh.
This card, thankfully, the screening service is done by automaton, so there's no staff who will fail to recognize you and question you.
Do you have only one question?
This will get all of you in. The question is, do you want to go in from the front door? Or do you want to try and pose as staff? Do you all walk in together, or do you want to try and split your efforts?
I mean, some of us aren't the most inconspicuous of individuals. I'm not sure.
And as his eyes sort of go between pretty much everyone except Harmonia, it's like, whatever do you mean? Sometimes when you speak, I struggle to tell you apart.
All right, funny guy. Is this place underground or is it?
It is in its own dimension.
Ah, shit.
Right.
A place within places.
Great.
It is big? Question.
Say
Or
again?
casino. Is it big?
It
Question.
is. It is. There are all kind of rumors about where it first came from. Apparently, a very common theory is it used to be a magnificent mansion to a terrible vampire lord who drifted between worlds, and he was killed, and it was taken away and turned into, discovered by Mr. Big, who renovated it. No, it's not Strahd, Harmonia. Christ.
That would have been so fun, though.
I was just wondering, is like, just if it's
You
in
missed
the
the
game,
Strahd's
you got
summer
Strahd.
getaway. Yeah.
All right.
You know where
So-
the gems are? Question.
Mr. Big doesn't like me. He'll either be, I would imagine, in the vault, or in his office, perhaps. Or maybe even on his person.
So if it's on another plane, how would we gain access other than by using the card? Have mentioned us possibly splitting. How would that work?
What I saw whenever I went in is in the entrance foyer. There's then a separate door off for staff. Now, my understanding is that staff are subject to a screening test. I presume detect magic or something like this. But then after that, they have access to areas that do not have anti-magic zones. Weapons will be a no, either way.
This is problem.
All right. So if I'm understanding this, your fancy little glowing card will get us in the door, and then from there we can divvy up and either go. Some of us try and screen through and get in as staff, and the others could potentially go in and just gamble and try and work their way to the vault or the office.
This is what I'm saying, but it's for you to decide, and
What do y'all think? We splitting? We doing this together? We being staff? We being gamblers?
Are you saying the magic doesn't work at all inside, or just around the tables?
my understanding, I myself am not inclined, but around all of the main gambling areas. This is why there is a mixture of people and automatons. The automatons cannot go near the gambling tables. Or the spark within them extinguishes. I obviously cannot come with you, for I am recognized within the yellow, and would immediately give up the game. But it will be full of other people, full of nobility and shady criminals and all manner of individuals. I myself counted myself a unfortunate would-be of the former rather than the latter.
How to access vault? Question. Who access vault?
That I would not know. If I knew all of these details, I could have just hired a random mercenary to go in. Or paid a wizard to make me look different.
I could
They
maybe
will-
turn into spider. Small spider. Crawl into someone. Someone take me to vault. But then I can't carry gems as spider.
The gems you are looking for are two of them, the size of an orange each.
If they have anti-magic near the tables, they will surely have that in the vault too, I imagine. So any shape-shifting attempts might also
Right.
fail at that point.
I can look like someone else for a couple of hours, but yeah, if we hit a field, it's gonna disappear.
Well, do we want to split up or all go in together?
He
In ship-
looks across you.
Crew always separates. Different jobs. We all need a job.
Cool.
Okay. We could do harm undercover, because you look the least inconspicuous.
All right. I also function mainly off of magic, so I'll be no good in the gambling arena where all the anti-magic is.
You're
That
pretty good at
works.
you're pretty good at talking someone around though, right?
I mean, sure.
Oh, you could try going in small. Might not help us in the vault, but be a way in inconspicuously.
After detect magic barrier, I can change. Has anyone tried turning C3RO on? C3RO on. I can't turn him on.
He still shows his updates applying 7 of 8,422.
Please do not unplug.
Yeah.
Seems a little bit.
And Aracles is restringing his guitar.
No one cares.
No.
He's been watching this like.
If he wants a place on the crew, he's really got to start contributing. How many guards in this place? Do you have a rough idea?
20.
That's a lot.
Some of them tigers, some of them machines.
All right.
You said you had staff? Costume, I am very good staff. I clean the ship very, very good.
Now, you said that they are taking weapons from the guests. But do you know where they could be storing them? Or if the staff could have access to them?
Yeah, my recollection is they are locked in a counter in the reception.
20's a lot, but not impossible. Comes to it.
In terms of the staff, I don't have a staff costume, but I know this will sound very sinister, but I promise I came upon this by happenstance. I know where a couple of them live, and on their route as they take to or from work, you could encourage them to not go to work and hand over their uniform.
All right. What if you and I go in staff, and then once we get through, you can, shift into a spider if you want, and then y'all go in the normal entrance and start gambling and poking around. What do you think?
Well, I imagine that would sort of depend on what kind of uniforms we get. If we get like a heavyweight uniform, I might go in as staff. If something for a lighter frame, then yeah, you're good.
For the sake of the adventure, we'll say that he happens to know staff who have corresponding body types. So, I'm sorry, you have been fat-shamed out of this path of the adventure. It's just like, yeah, we'll be able to find whatever you need.
But
I myself have a formal business suit, which I could lend to you if you wanted to go, Balthazar. Gift to gift.
What do we do inside, though? How do we find Bolt? How do we get gems out of Bolt?
Gotta think on our feet, I suppose.
This.
I don't have feet.
Spoken like she really doesn't, does she?
Oh shit!
Don't have feet.
I'm pretty concerned how we're going to get out of there if it's in a pocket dimension. And
There is still just a door. There is still a doorway you can walk out of. It will eject you from whichever portal across the universe you entered it from. That's an important thing as well. The casino isn't just relegated to the rock. You can only exit it back onto the rock, but people may enter from other locations. Strange locations. Across time and space. Well, space.
Interesting. And would they know once we're inside where we're from?
No. Not automatically.
I'm thinking I may need to study up on some stuff. I was thinking if we're gonna do this, what do you think? Like lockpicking tools or something? I may chill out and just ask Reggie for some tips. And mechanically, I'm talking about doing my astral transfer insight to get proficiency in lockpicking tools.
Okay.
What do y'all think? Do you think lockpicking tools or something else?
Well, since Hercules is too busy preparing his next sonnet, I think that's a good idea. What about me and Balthazar go in the front? A couple of high rollers, and we act all loud and create a distraction, and you two sneak around the back of the crowd and try and find the vault.
Yeah, I can do loud.
And if things go a bit wrong, we can get a different kind of loud.
I can conjure lots of beasties. Make big distraction too. Okay. Think on feet.
So, that's O and Harmonia going in a staff. And Solstice and Balthazar going in, getting the pat down, and just posing some high roller boys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you make this plan. You decide to grab the work uniforms that evening as a couple are heading home and heading in the next morning. We'll skip over the part of grabbing your uniforms just because I feel with the number of you and the level you are, you're going to get them. Roll me O and Harmonia as the two people who've been wearing. Roll me a d20 each. If you get a 1 or a 2, there will be an currently unknown consequence of you relieving this person. Okay.
So close.
Sorry, did I say 1 or 2? I meant 3 or 9. Okay, excellent. So you have your uniforms. The next morning, you spent the night resting. Any other preparations you want to make before the Commodore leads you to the entrance to the casino? Balthazar's thinking about it.
No.
No, but I think O and Harmonia might exchange tips on how to best break up locks, as O also is proficient on thieves' tools, so they might be sort of like looking at and just basically breaking every single lock that they can find inside Balthazar's house.
Balthazar's house? Like, no!
Sorry, oh my god, this is gonna be Commodores. Sorry, oh my god, this is gonna be terrible.
Magic, not
Commodores.
playing.
Magic music.
Well, that's odd. It's been playing for me, and it's getting caught with the stream.
Fine. Maybe I just need to reload.
Is it your
Not for me
wheel?
either.
Is it your wheel?
Nope, I checked.
Oh, it doesn't
checked
play
my
for me
channels.
either.
That's
No.
odd.
Same.
We're changing the scene now anyway.
Oh.
So, what is Harmonia got there? Green Flame Blade. I don't think she still has that up, does she?
No, I should, especially since I
and it
feel
says
like I've long
Balthazar.
rested.
Yeah, I've changed all that. So, you are led a couple of streets away by the Commodore into an alley. There's no way of describing this in any way other than unfortunate in terms of timing. A bit of a Diagon Alley situation where there is a wall where he takes the credit card out and just runs it in what looks to be a small gap in the pointing between the bricks. And a moment later, it opens up and down, and the wash, it's very odd. You see like that wash of the astral sea above you at all times on the rock, but it suddenly comes through very, very pronounced through this doorway in the wall, and you're all able to step in. You see he sort of shrinks back a little bit. One thing I forgot to say, which we won't mess around with character sheets because it'll be a pain, but he would have pointed out the night before that they screen for magic and magic items, so you should be leaving magic items with him before you go in.
O might have. O doesn't like that at all because of their mask.
Okay, if it's something that she wouldn't, what Crooks would have described is people who are gamblers have to hand their weapons over and get a pat down. People who are staff go through a detect magic screen and door. So she'd be would be challenged about the mask. But if they're going to explain it away, that'd be fine.
I think they would try to make an argument that they need the mask. Because otherwise they would freak out the customers. So, but they would be happy to do that.
Okay.
As staff,
I think. Hello.
Hello. Yes.
I think Solstice would have taken a few minutes to disassemble his 2 pistols to try take them disassembled and then attempt to get them through.
What do they look like when disassembled? What do they break down into? Is it a Scaramanga situation? There's a golden lighter, there's a golden cigar case, and he screws it all together.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, it's still going to look pretty magical, and some of it just like bits of metal, because like one pistol's pretty ramshackle, but the other one's pretty like high tech. So, like a bag of mixed parts. If someone knew about Arcana, they probably know what they were looking at. But
Okay. So, the door is opened, and you presumably all step in.
This is gonna go so bad.
Just moving us through to that scene.
Can we get a TPK in a social session?
This is gonna go so bad. So bad.
Isn't that what you guys tried to do last session? From the sound of it, just chilling in a bar, drinking, and suddenly here we're fighting.
Roleplay wise, if I don't have my 2 pistols, I can't do magic. FYI.
That's fine. I imagined as such. In fact, I planned on it. So, you step through, and a brightly lit hall with a long green carpet and a strong citrus scent greets you as you step out of the portal. The sound of music and laughter drift through the open marble doors at the far end of the hall and past 2 blank-faced humanoid constructs who are flanking the doorway. Another, much larger construct, dressed in the same smartly pressed black uniform, stands behind a window set in the wall. A metallic voice rings out from a hulking construct. Welcome to the Allure Casino, where every day is your lucky day. Please leave all weapons with reception, and I will see them safely stored until you are ready to leave.
Great.
After a few seconds, it just leans forward a bit more.
I think Balthazar would probably just leave the weapons outside anyway, like in Commodore's rule.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, instead of... Because then if we need to leave quickly, I suppose it would be better to not have to retrieve stuff.
You see this huge... I mean, the 2 at the end are slightly taller than the tallest of you, but the big guy is like almost 12 foot tall, 10 foot wide. It's an absolute tank. But you see, he's clutching things in his hands. You see, in one hand he has what looks to be like a little spool of like twine, and the other one has a lot of little red tags.
I guess I'll open my bag and be like, anything concerning you in here, little guy?
Is that a jeep? I am actually exceptionally large.
I've seen bigger.
Do you have any This requires rumination. Do you have any weapons to hand over?
I don't think so, do you?
This levity is delightful. Do any of you have any weapons to be handed in? Be warned, when my colleagues search you, any weapons not declared will result in a ban for life.
Oh, shit. And I hand over my dagger.
Snatches it from you, turns it over a little bit, gets some thread, and very, like, that kind of... he sort of gets into position, and then with, like, the machines, wraps his twine around it, attaches a little red tag, pulls out a stamp, and tucks it underneath. Hands you a ticket. Ticket 47. Enjoy your stay. Looks to the next of you.
I left my weapons home.
Excellent. And then he looks to O and Harmonia, who are in their work suits, presumably.
Well, I left all my weapons at home as well, sweetie. Can I go on by?
You work here.
Right. Why I didn't bring them?
Sort of points to the door behind you.
Alrighty. I'm gonna just look back at the others.
Do you require assistance?
Nope.
Are you unfamiliar with the requirements of your role?
Just new employee jitters, thank you.
Have you not received an induction?
I'm moving on.
Have you not received an induction?
I'm following.
You...
I'm closing the door.
Yeah, you find... Well, we'll come to you in a minute. Balthazar and Solstice. The big guard sits back down. The two guards at the end of the corridor turn their heads towards each other and then back towards you before...
Just you and me now, B.
Oh, so... Do we even have any gold to gamble with?
I have a bet, I think. Hold on. Just check my inventory. Yeah, I have a bet. Do you? Do you have anything?
Just a few coins. I'm not sure what the stakes are in this place. Probably bigger than I can afford, though.
Guess we'll find out.
Let's see what happens. If it comes to that, I can just act as your bodyguard, I suppose. Something like that.
We can hear everything you are saying. Please approach and be searched for entry.
All right, Tin Man. All right.
Please turn.
T-pose.
Up and down a couple of times. Is there anything that you have attempted to sneak in?
No.
You said you got your dissembled blasters.
Yes.
So you said these come with some clearly arcane parts. At one point, tapped. Bit of like a feel of the outside of your legs. What is the purpose of this? What is the function of these apparel?
They're part of my arcane studies.
Funny thing.
I mean, sort of look at them, and they do the eye, sort of zzz, very bender. Zzz,
That one's dwarven.
zzz, 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 zzz. Welcome.
Sure, there's one little thing that I somewhat forgot because it's like a regular item in the equipment, but it was flavored as a part of me essentially. So I would have the Guardian emblem on me actually, which is embedded in my chest, and it's a piece of rock. So.
Okay, yeah. Moving a tap at one point. What is the purpose of this?
This thing seems to hold me alive. So
the other one turns to the other one. It is clearly medicinal. You cannot simply ask someone what a piece of rock embedded in their chest is. I apologize. Step back. Please. Enjoy your stay. Meanwhile, Harmonia and O, you find yourself in a locker room. Numbered cabinets fill the room. There doesn't seem to be anything else in here.
Right. I'll just turn. I don't know where they do this screening, but I guess. Do we just? And I'm gonna try and pull on one of the doors.
One of the locker doors.
Mm-hmm.
Locked.
Supposed to
What are
know
these?
where the door to the work is?
What are these? These things?
These are a number of coat hooks on the wall.
Coat hooks.
Mm-hmm.
No doors. Question?
Yeah. Is this the test? I'm gonna try opening all the locker doors.
They're all locked. One is not locked. It is empty. You do hear, as you're stood here, you hear a quiet sound of a raised voice. Seems to be coming from through that wall.
Can I just see if there's any like secret joints or something? That like a very discreetly placed door somewhere?
Just by hanging around and listening, I think you very, very quickly establish that there is clearly something behind these coat hooks.
Can we listen in? Like, is it distinguished or is it just the sound of voices?
Make a perception check and you'll find out which one of those it is.
Woohoo! Perception. Ooh! I've got good ears, I do.
You do.
27.
You hear muffled, but then you start to pick words out like, take the glass, then offer further refreshments. Are you lacking in education?
Harmonia.
What establishment did you say you've worked in previously? Because you're not there now. You're in the allure. You hear?
That don't sound nice.
Oh, do we? What? Are these? Is this one of those like with the bookcase where you pull out the fake book? Do we gotta do something with these coat hooks?
I think it's just behind the coat hooks. Are you ready? You first.
Oh, me first. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go and try and.
I'm gonna disguise self as someone looks almost exactly like Harmonia. Like we could be twins.
Okay.
So no longer an ooze, but a disguised self.
Oh, I like this. It's like a little bizarro world Mia.
But I know we're gonna go through detect magic.
You are. So yeah, pull the.
Okay, maybe not yet. Maybe after. Hold on. Okay, maybe I'll wait until after. We'll see. I'm trying to pass this detect. I'm trying to do something. Okay, we'll see.
Okay, are you pulling that coat hook?
Yep.
It opens up and you hear the loud noise of a kitchen behind as you go to pass through. You see in the room beyond you a very, very well-dressed fire genasi next to two rather large fairies who are fluttering holden trays looking dejected. You are immediately in no doubt that it is these fairies who have just been receiving an ear bashing from the genasi who looks furious. Their heads all snap towards you as O is in the doorway with this light and this klaxon going off. A moment later, one of the guards comes bursting in through the doorway behind you as well in robot mode. And kind of as the robot's like, what is the meaning? You just hear who in the hell do you think you are? From the genasi.
I'm here for work. Was I not supposed to come in this way?
You have brought something magical with you.
I don't believe it.
Oh, then maybe our sophisticated system is wrong. Maybe it just went off.
All right, sassy.
The robot behind you,
Anything?
you see the fist is now sort of whirling, almost like building up like a bit of a stationary haymaker.
Stop! Me, I'm magical. Me, I'm magical. Hello, me.
You are magical?
My mask is magical. Yes. It's for work. I need it for work. Look. And O takes the mask off, and O doesn't have a face. Customers don't like when I don't have face. They can't see my face. They don't know if I'm happy or not or sad. See, I put on happy face, happy face, sad face, sad face, angry face, angry face. I use it for work, see?
The guard sort of turns slightly to the Genasi. Override requires authentication from Mr. Big or Klaus. I'm like, yes, fine. The klaxon stops. The robot goes, sorry about your face. And then steps out.
Crossed-eyed,
Yeah.
scrambly mouth face. I'm sorry about my face.
The fire genasi you now know to be called Klaus is just stood there like, well, are you going to come in? Are you agency?
The game is paused. I cannot.
Are you going to come in?
Yes, where'd
the
you
door
like
closed
me?
behind you. Anywhere but here if you're going to bring that saccharine disposition into your work. Good
All right,
grief.
Out near the tables, I guess.
Yes, trays, refreshments, outside,
Oh,
staff. Offer to the
what
patrons.
kind of refreshments we got here?
They're not for you, so it isn't particularly relevant.
I gotta
Magical
be able
order.
to sell what I am.
So you're going to
serving.
ask me questions and then give me your broad, crude groanings over my response.
No, you're right. You're right. I'll just go out there, and when a customer asks me what it is, I'll just tell them I don't know. He was too busy yelling at me.
They will
to
know
actually
what to
inform me.
request.
Telepathically to Harmonia. It's okay. We don't actually work here.
Good sense God's gave it.
You're far quieter. Good. If these trays
Yes.
all become exhausted, up the stairs is the kitchen, where you can find more.
Jim, where's the other ways out of here? I assume the only other exit is up the stairs, or is that's an actual door?
Yep. So
Okay.
he describes this as being the door to the kitchen, this being the service door onto the casino floor.
Aha, okay.
And the two fairies look very sad.
Aw.
Try not to take people's drinks before they've finished drinking them completely. I thought he just had a sip left, but he was very angry.
Okay.
All right, will do. Y'all keep your chin up, and I'm gonna go out the door with my tray.
Yeah, good
I'm
timing.
gonna-
So
Follow.
yeah, this is you all entering the casino floor at the same time. Staff step out. You see before you, all of you, a enormous room with a glass ceiling and floor that offers a stunning view of swirling colour and light floating in a dark void just outside the casino. Standing in the centre of the room is a giant gold statue of a bulky goblin with arms stretched wide over the galactic view. Brightly dressed gamblers, some sporting animal masks, roll dice or play cards at the various gaming tables. The air is filled with the clack of chips and tobacco smoke. Security guards are strategically placed around the room, dressed in the same uniform as the constructs in the reception area, scanning everywhere for signs of trouble. They are clearly all were-tigers, who are in their hybrid forms that you're seeing walking around. At an initial glance, not everybody is having fun, however. An anxious young female high elf is loudly complaining to a stone-faced guard about a missing diamond earring she swears was stolen. Surrounded by annoyed guests is a belligerent dwarf spraying beer and mocking laughter at his table mates whenever he wins a roll, which seems to be every time. We are now in the casino. What would you like to do, everyone?
I'm gonna start just going around the edge, just to try and get like a full view of this place.
Which one would be the complaining lady?
The lady doing the complaining, Balthazar, is over here.
Okay. I see. And the dwarf, I imagine, would be that one.
Actually, no. It is this fellow.
Okay.
Right, B.
I'll have to look out for his twin brother over there.
What do you think? Do we divide and conquer, or pick somewhere to make a big
I
splash?
reckon, first of all, I imagine we could use a little bit of a walk around. There seems to be like another section forwards. Or is it like... Oh, okay. Oh, I see. I have misread the map. It's
Up
fine.
top.
That's all, yeah, that's all on the top. I see. There's one... Okay, so there's one where tiger on the stairs on the right, but the other staircase doesn't seem to be having anyone. Does he seem like he's stopping people from going there, or is he just positioned there? Or is it like...
Each of the sets of steps up has... So most of the were-tiger guards are on a bit of a lazy patrol. But the two staircases up both have a stationary guard who's clearly...
Sure.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, I didn't see the other one because I think one of the ladies was on him.
Ah, okay.
That's fine. Okay, I see. So they like us here in this little area. Okay. I mean, little.
Yeah.
Kind of. All right, sure. Yeah, I might inquire about that missing earring. Maybe we could do something with that.
The dwarf? Sure.
No, that's the lady, actually. The lady over there seems to have some problem with her lost property. I could offer my assistance or something. Who knows where that might lead?
All right.
Other than that, the dwarf might be useful if we ever need to make some noise. It seems like a very easy tie-in for that. Just get near him and things should flow naturally, really.
Should I start amping him up a bit? Just get him prepped for noise?
Yeah, if you feel like it. As I said,
Okay.
I plan to get like a whole round around the whole thing. So let's see who's in here. We see if I can find any more strange things going on. Maybe we could put suspicion on someone else, some way. Divert the attention without drawing it to ourselves. Something like that. And yeah, and I'll see about it. So, well, now I suppose split, and we'll. I mean, the place ain't that big, so I don't think we'll lose each other that easily. Just act natural.
Okay.
Doesn't bother that there's no idea how to act natural in a place like this.
Act natural, you spacefaring four-armed plant man.
I feel like that wasn't the best thing to say to Solstice. Solstice is just going to make a beeline for the dwarf then and be like, sort of loudly say, almost shout, like, let's get this party started, and like slam all his hands together and like run over to the dwarf table and be like, hot table, hot table.
Oh, more for me. Come on in then, young blood. Young sap. I'm not entirely sure
Appleton.
Okay. Yep. If you are coming into the mall, absolutely.
What's your name, old man?
Darcy, Captain Darcy Lannister.
Nice to meet you. Pleasure to take all your money.
Oh, we'll see. It's a pretty big buy-in at this table. Forgive me, the state of that jacket. Are you 50 gold buy-in?
50's fine.
Oh.
The jacket's sentimental.
Tell me the tale.
Maybe once you hand over some of your cash.
Okay. Well, we're playing. We're playing King's Crown.
Do I know what that is?
But I'll hand over. Yeah, I thought you would. So the staff hands over while I'm curating this. No one go opening doors and shit. We are going to do these one at a time. We're going to cycle around each person in turns. We're going to go in overlay order. We're going to be going from Solstice, Harmonia, Balthazar, and keep looping like that until we start to hit each other. So yeah, there's a couple at the table, a few people at the table. The employee lays out the rules of the game. There's a 50 gold bet.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 of you at the table. Everyone rolls a d20 to see who goes first. So if you want to roll a d20 for me, Solstice.
6. It's a good start.
6, okay. The captain. We'll roll a d20. Ooh. And the employee rolls a d20. So, Solstice will go first, then the employee, and then Darcy Lannister. So, 50 gold in each. The way this works is you roll 5 d20, which thankfully Foundry can do in one go. If you get any 1s, you're out. And once you've all rolled your 5d6, it's whoever has the highest score. If anyone gets all 6s, they automatically win a astronomical amount.
6 d20s or d6s?
D6s, sorry. So you roll 5 d6.
Okay.
So the d20 is just to establish who goes first. Okay, so you roll yours. Okay, where is that? The employee rolls theirs next. All eyes turn to you. To the captain. His eyes bulge a little bit. As 150 gold pieces get slid towards you and a little pile, Solstice, can I suggest that you might want to keep a note of it in your Discord channels through this session and make a final adjustment at the end rather than fiddle with your character sheets up and down?
Yeah, I've just got a notepad open at the moment.
Cool.
I've got it.
Yeah, you gain 150 gold. The captain looks a bit crestfallen. He's like, well, oh, a welcome gift to the table. Are you ready to play again, or had your fill?
Should we have some drinks first? On me?
You see that he's surrounded by flagons of various fill. He's like, I think I'm good for now. Let's get another one in first, and a drink.
Okay.
Nice. Same again. Roll your d20s. okay. So it's him, then you, then the casino. So this time he looks, he's like, right. This won't happen again. Yeah. Gives it a wide cast, and he's like, aha! Nice.
Okay, my turn.
Yep.
Solstice like rattles all the dice between all his hands, and then
Jim,
rolls them all.
watching his eyes, Beely. Ooh. And then the house rolls. Has become. And I was like, the employee goes to push it all forward. He actually did. As this, well, back to where I was a minute ago, but ready for more. He's like, so, shall I get that drink then?
Sure.
Okay, and he gets one of his flagons over top and hands it over to you. There you go, my lad. Another!
How old is this?
Sip it and find out. But before that, we'll loop round to Harmonia, who made a beeline for the stairs as soon as I fucking unpaused the game and let you loose. So you see a Fenton run across the casino. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna point at my tray as I attempt to walk by this cat on the stairs.
He's like, which of the rooms are you taking that to?
I don't know. I was just told to serve the upstairs.
You were
Am I
told to
supposed to
serve
have
the
some sort of
upstairs.
passcode to get up here? I'm sorry. I'm new. That Phi Genasi guy was yelling. I just came up here.
Yes, he is.
You
an
want me to
asshole.
go back, or can I just go on?
This is fine. You
Thank you.
cater to.
Dear dear.
You know that these are the high roller rooms, yes?
You know, I do not. I am so new. What rooms are up here?
These are the expensive rooms, the high stakes rooms.
Like more expensive than this? All right. What like you got like, I don't know, playing for kittens or something, or just lots of high stakes?
Millions of gold.
They tip well?
Not as a standard. We are a more civilized nation than that in the Forgotten Realms, but excellent service is tipped. It is not as standard because that is how they get you.
Yeah. Rich people always holding on to their money. All right. Well, thank you. I'm just gonna wander up here and hopefully, make quiet as I walk by and serve drinks. Thank you. You've been a dear.
Turned his eyes back to the casino floor.
I'm just gonna walk and I'm just scanning intently for any and all.
Yeah.
What's
So
going
as you pass here, you it's a wall of one way mirror. You see it's glass, curved glass. There's clearly a room behind it, but you are not able to see through. And then you have like a bit of a wall, partition behind which you see another two guards as it opens up to this higher area. Looking past the guards, you glance a large marble floored area with a piano that's playing by itself, more games tables, all of which seem to be sat, and you can hear extremely raucous sounds of what looks to be a large gang of goblins in both alcoves who were all dressed in like proper biker gear. Like these are like Lost Boys, Billy Idol dressed sort of goblins.
All right. I'm just gonna attempt to walk past these guards as if I belong.
There is.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
just gonna wander, trying to see what I can. And I'm also gonna do a little swipe by on the buffet table here.
You give a little swipe. What are you going to eat?
Ooh, something pastry with some sort of cream or filling or something, you know.
Okay. Make me are you trying to sneak it? Is it a sleight of hand?
No, I'm just doing it as if like, who is going to stop me, like that kind of like
Okay. Yeah.
very overly confident.
You swipe what you think is a cheesy thing. It is in fact a crab puff. With a little bit of claw.
Yes.
A little bit of claw poking out the end.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna make a mental note to stop by for more of those.
I don't have the throat to do the sound effect, but these goblins, I would like you to just imagine a larger gang of the skinny, coffee-drinking aliens from Men in Black. That is the general. That is the general constant sound effect, except with a lot more use of some of the worst swear words coming from both alcoves, and they're all just sat around, clearly deep in their cups, very, very raucous with each other. As you even put your foot on this staircase, from behind you, what you see going up at ahead, there is another one of the larger bots in the corridor. But the next Were-Tiger mobster behind you, who's up and step looking at the game table so over his shoulder and meet like, where do you think you are going? No.
To be honest, I don't know. What's up here? Is this not one of the private rooms?
No. Down you go.
Oh, all right. What is that room?
Not your concern.
Well, I think it might be in case
I think
Nancy
not.
starts yelling at me.
Boss's office.
All right.
No.
All right. So then just down around here, there are more private rooms down here then?
It's like, Leeds, you have crab breath.
Have you tried those little crab puffs? Well, you should sneak yourself one.
No, I would not. You immediately can tell that he is lying.
But they are really good. I think, if you want
I
some other
wouldn't know.
recommendations, I'm just going to loudly stage whisper as I continue walking.
Okay. As you approach the large guard blocking the corridor, Balthazar, what is your intent?
Well, so the situation with the lady and her earring, that seems to be ongoing, like sort of...
Yeah. She is pretty much Karening.
Sure. I will then have a bit of a better glance on the patrons on this side of the room. On the left side.
Yeah.
Just sort of like see if anyone catches my attention, if anyone seems like they might be doing something out untowards, like sweating.
Yeah, I mean,
because
people are trying
cheating or something, I don't know.
People are trying to continue their games, or people are quite distracted by the woman who is berating, and she's pointing at this empty earlobe, and she's like, "Priceless! Priceless! It is priceless! 1,000 gold it cost me. It is priceless! And I have lost it in your establishment."
Oh. So
do you have it on you? Do you have it on you?
Do they all just seem like distracted, or does anyone seem like slightly concerned, maybe?
You see that the employee is looking more and more sort of ear-bashed and upset. And as you can even notice, if somebody's not heightened by the emotion of the scene, you can see that the Were-Tiger guard who was talking to Harmony for a moment has now leant forward and is just holding onto the railing a little bit, looking down, watching it, and the employee has caught his eye a couple of times. You can tell that a guard is poised to intervene.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I guess I'll saunter too. get closer to them. She is rattling off to the ferry, right?
Yeah, the fairy is the employee.
Sure. Get closer. Excuse me, I just arrived, and seems like there's been a disturbance in this fine locale. I'm concerned slightly. What are you saying happened? Some thievery here?
It may well indeed be thievery. I had priceless earrings gifted to me by my husband, and this one was quite young. By my husband, Lord Thornwood. And
right, I mean, I don't think we're from the same place, lady.
Of the Thornwood docks. He runs quite a great deal of the Rock's business.
Yeah, I imagine.
They were a present for my birthday. And what has been taken from me in this place?
Do you reckon it's been here on the floor, or
I have. You are very, very sweet to express such concern, but I have checked the floor.
I mean,
I
just mean the floor as in this level of the establishment, not the actual regular floor.
Oh, no. I gave a cursory glance, but really, it's the staff who should be trying to right this wrong.
Sort of. Did the fairy say anything up to this point? Like, did they? Or was
she's been trying to politely, just sort of like politely explain. You know, it will be here somewhere. You know, we have a lost property and so on and so forth. But she's very, very irate.
Right. There's bound to be a place where, I mean, just surely that's not the only piece of jewelry that has been lost on this very ground. So
I despair. I will. Once I conclude my business here this evening, I very much doubt that I or Lord Thornwood will be bringing our patronage here again.
Well, that's probably understandable if it's truly within the power of the patrons to assist you further. Well, you said you suspect foul play in it. Do you have any suspicions towards someone, or is it just...
There are all manner.
A concern.
There are all manner here this evening. There is a gang of bikers. Bikers! Hoodlums who are here.
Seems slightly
It could well be them.
And towards the ferry.
The ferry's out.
Use regular.
They have cards and they pay well.
Right, and where would the bikers be?
Ours is not to question membership.
And sort of looks you up and down.
Yeah, I understand the rules of the place. But maybe it would be prudent to at least talk to the people that seem to be implicated by the lady.
We could look around and ask.
Right, and what about the place where you're holding everything you find from the patrons? The lost and found.
The weapons cabinet is not the lost and found.
Well, yes, I imagine so, but do you have a lost and found? And in a place like this, I would expect so.
We do.
Right.
But it would have been... The lady has been here a couple of hours. It would have been handed in at the end of the night. Well, it's been cleaned.
Right.
It won't be in lost and found yet.
Sort of taking a look from your boots, he sort of glances over to everyone.
Could you get the mop? Sort of one side. Oh, I'll get the mop, yes. Raining outside, sir.
Depends where.
where you've come from.
It's been a little bit muddy. Possibly.
Indeed, indeed.
Look down. This a big problem?
No, we'll have it cleaned right up, right up.
No, I thought that the lost earring might be a bigger one indeed.
Well,
like more
we'll keep an eye out and let you know if we find anything.
Sure.
Madam,
Right.
sir. And Lady Thornwood just looks at you and goes,
Yeah, that's a bit disappointing, I have to say. I can't say I've been here too many times, but should it to buy? Are they? I sort of just look around. I don't see anyone who would look like a biker. To be perfectly honest, I mean,
I was up in the. Oh no! I'll go. I was up in the luxury tables earlier.
Oh.
That delightful piano music you may just be able to hear on the very cusp of your ear is the luxury area.
I see.
It's normally lovely entertainment, a more refined sort of guest at the table. But the entire area has been commandeered, so I came back down.
My entire interest in this is sort of professional. I've done a little bit in law enforcement out there, you know, so I just heard a concerned citizen and thought that
A detective!
I could say that, yeah, a bit of a profession in my past, but I certainly.
And she offers her hand. Lady Beryl Thornwood.
Right. Balthazar, my name.
Oh, very enigmatic. Did you solve many crimes?
Well, quite a few, I imagine. Not all of them.
You imagine? You.
Yeah.
A turn of phrase, I'm sure.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'd say that not many of them in the high-stake casinos. They usually seem to be capable of taking care of their own business by themselves. But, well, not that different, is it, from everywhere else? So, if you wouldn't mind, we could look around upstairs. I'd gladly lend an eye. Maybe I can see something that escapes the eyes of others.
I don't care to return to near those ruffians anytime soon. I have exhausted my efforts to locate my earring upstairs. Priceless, did I mention? And I will have a look around down here before I return back up. It is very exclusive upstairs, normally a significant entry fee for membership. But I'll have a look around here first and head back up as and when I decide to return to that crowd.
Right, very exclusive, yeah. So I don't suppose they would allow someone as lowly as myself up there.
Typically no. But if you with the if you had a chaperone, someone to vouchsafe for you, such as myself, I'm the wife of Lord Thornwood, as you may have heard, you will be able to. But you could indeed have entry. But as I say, I won't be heading back up there until I do attempt to locate my new earring. So it was an absolute delight, Bartholomew, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your evening.
I'll keep my eyes open, nonetheless.
Meanwhile,
his name is Balthazar, you posh bitch.
I feel like I managed to quite successfully get on the Gigi's skin quite a bit with that interaction.
I really enjoyed the nice lady.
Karen Thornwood.
Yes. O has been very nervously. They were within earshot of the beginning of that conversation, so they are aware about the missing earring. But then, as it became a bit repetitive, they moved away and are checking this door out.
Yeah.
That door?
Yeah. Shall I open it for you?
I can open it myself.
You see a marble floor with a set of very ornate golden sinks in the middle. This is clearly a bathroom.
The toilet.
By the scent of that whole thing where it's like, let's go all in with the smellies to mask anything else that goes on in here. And somehow that smell ends up being even worse because it is so acrid. You see a number of what are clearly cubicle doors. You also hear soft sounds of mild gastrointestinal discomfort coming from one of the doors further down. Make me a perception check, please.
Do I want to? What am I gonna hear? What am I gonna smell? Perception. Great. It's very loud in here.
Yeah. You okay, yeah. You see a number of doors. You only see a single. In fact, I'd give to you that you can see that there are feet in this first door, but the others all appear to be unoccupied.
I'm gonna close this door once the game is unpaused. Close this door. Okay. Go to an empty stall.
Right. I've locked the
Look
door back
underneath.
just someone.
Maybe the last one. Go underneath. Look underneath to see if there's anyone here.
The last one has a sign on a little sign hanging on it with "out of order" written on it.
Oh, excellent. I will open that.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It is locked because it says "out of order."
Oh crap!
It is locked.
Oh crap!
But if you want to unlock it, I wouldn't even require a check for that because it's going to be like one of those. If you have any sort of coin in that little slot, so you are able to. If you want to.
No, I don't have time. I'll check the next one.
Okay, the next one. You open up. Are you stepping in?
Yep.
You.
It has toilet paper.
It does. You find on the floor of this cubicle, which smells foul, this cubicle, and the toilet, yeah, it smells foul. On the floor, you find a small diamond earring.
Oh, that changes things. I'm gonna grab the earring.
Echoes
I'm
from
gonna
a few
grab the
doors
earring.
down.
I'm gonna grab the earring.
Yeah.
I grab the earring. I'm going to hide it. Gonna hide it.
Never should have come here.
That's haunting.
Hello. I am
Oh.
staff.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
No!
Do you require assistance?
I think it's just something I ate. Just something I ate. I think the crab puffs.
Do you require refreshments?
No, I think I just need to get my bearings and go home and find a healer.
Okay. I am going to pass some toilet paper under this here door. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you. And you sort of push it through. And you sort of see the feet shift a bit, and like the hand come down to grab it, and as the figure's obviously leant forward, it's a single. Oh!
Throwing up face emoji.
I'm never having crabs again. Never having crab puffs again if I live to be 200.
Sounds like a good idea, sir. And she's going to walk away. And close the door. Close the door. Do I have any more turn?
Yeah. Do I have any more turn? Yeah.
I'm going to walk towards Baltzar. But like kind of giving a wide berth, and when I'm around 30 feet from him, which module is this? That tells you the distance is amazing. Love it.
I think it's called Show Distance. It's a really simple one.
I'm going to telepathically say, do not make face. I found earring. I don't believe telepathy is magic.
I love how on the camera immediately Mr. Death goes. Balthazar's just like.
No face. No face. What do I do? Question?
You're muted, Mr. Death.
God damn it. What's a disappointingly simple case then?
Question?
Well, this could be useful. Where was it?
Oh, you know what? I'm not sure you can communicate back. It's not message. I've got telepathy.
Yeah, well, sure. Okay. Well then.
You want question?
So Balthazar, by this time, if it's after she left, he would probably still be like sort of casing the place.
Yeah.
Like not having much hope, but he would be looking down a lot probably, like just to see if there's some glint of metal. Like she seemed like the type that could actually just lose it somewhere on the ground. Yeah, now he would be like sort of somewhat conspicuously, I suppose, standing his ground, sort of looking a little bit lost suddenly.
You come here, question? I give you?
Right. Oh. And he'll turn, see where O is.
As you're looking around, you see them, and their mask is just entirely inert and blank, almost looking like wood.
Oh, I see.
Is it the material that it's volcanic rock? But
is it? Sorry, really looks like rock.
Meteorite rock, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Does that mean telepathy would have been blocked?
No, because if it were real, but telepathy is not magic. Just psionics, because psionics aren't magic. They're psionics.
Right.
Special magic.
Yeah. Mind magic.
It's also more like racial. It's a racial thing. Well, I'm going to hand him a drink and have the earring on my palm as I hand you the drink.
Very slick.
I see. Well, I'll try to catch up with that. Seems like an advanced move for Balthazar, but
just slap the glass out of their hands.
We're done. Thank you kindly.
Oh, winks, but nothing happens on their face.
A little bit concerning.
Just stares at you. So yeah, you
Sadness.
have the earring, Balthazar.
Oh,
But before we loop back around to you,
that's fine.
we're going back round to Solstice, who is stood at his table with Captain Darcy Lannister, having just been handed a nice brimming pitcher of who knows what that was poured who knows when.
Oh, I'm sure he's a couple of drinks deep by now.
Okay. So what is it you do?
I acquire things from places and take them to other places.
Aye, smuggler, same.
Yeah.
I think we're past the point of everyone's got a wee shite little story they use to embroider it, but you strike me as being a man of the world, straight talking, like me, Captain Darcy Lannister.
Yes, Mr. Captain Darcy Lannister. Yes. I grew up with dwarves, actually.
Oh? Go on.
Yeah. Smugglers out of the Haunted Sea.
Oh, forgive me, I thought it was the lead up to a hilarious and original joke. Is that a faction from your backstory? Is it the smugglers of the...
Yes. Yeah.
So, I've heard of them.
Yeah. Any thoughts?
The world's a complex place, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
I've known...
How about we make...
Oh, how about it sound like the beginning of... Go on.
How about we make this interesting?
Oh, well, I'm
Yeah,
offended. I was plenty interested already, but... What are you proposing?
Let's up the buy-in.
To what? 1,000? So reaches
Let's
through...
go a little slower. Let's do 200.
Oh. Okay, yep. I thought you were exciting me then, Solstice, but maybe we'll slowly ramp it up a bit. We're still over the blouse at the moment, I take it. But, okay, so 200. And should we stay with kings?
I'm open to another table if you've got, a better one. What about one of those ones?
Pascal here can cater to a number of different games.
You sure the seats up there look comfortable and the drinks might be better?
Where are you pointing to?
Up above the
next table up.
No, the high roller sort of area.
That's you and the likes of you and I won't be allowed up there. No. We'll down here is where we'll get our pickings.
Oh, so you all talk, Darcy, aren't you? All talk.
What is this strange attempt to goad me, lad?
It's working though, isn't it?
No, let's now remain here and do kings. 200 gold, you said, yeah?
Sure, Captain.
Excellent.
Say that really sarcastically.
Okay, so...
I have no idea where I'm going with this. I'm just...
You're just going for it.
Yep.
Okay, where are we with those games? I have them here. I appear to have completely misplaced my games. Here we go. Okay, so the three of you. So roll a d20. This first one is the captains. The second one is the tables.
Oh, did I? Okay. 15. No, what? How did I roll 3? I don't know what happened there. How I ended up rolling 3. Or have you got me selected? Is that why?
Oh, I've got you selected, yeah. So first one was a captain, second was a table, that was you, so you're first.
Okay. Are we doing kings again?
Hi, yeah, kings. Let's see a 6. So 5d6.
Oh no.
Oh, no. That's unfortunate. A high roll, but sullied by a 1. Table rolls next. I'm a captain. It's like, okay. Ah! Let's check it out though. But we have that, and we all pot stays the same. Everybody gets their money back.
Cool.
Everybody got 1s. The coins are all pushed back out as it. There wasn't really an outcome to that one though, was there? Should we go again?
Sure.
Nice. We play to win. So, roll your d20. So, it's him, then the table, then you. Make me a perception check,
Perception.
Solstice.
Oh dear. 7.
2. Okay. You fail to notice that he's going to take the highest 5 of these. This is my in-character way of... 1, 2, 3, 4 6s. And then a 5. This is my way of basically going with a sleight of hand trick. With your perception, you fail to notice whatever it is he does, and his dice come up very, very nicely. I am, however, going to do a perception check for the casino member of staff, because it's also happened right in front of them. That hovered on a nat 20 for me, man. Just like you're there, and suddenly the guy gets lunged at across the table. Yeah, he's like, oh, almost a king's crown. A step away. Oh, go on, you do yours now, Solstice.
Can I do whatever he did?
You don't know what he did. Do you have anything with you that will non-magically let you do better? Whether it's a skill or an item? A non-magical item?
No.
Then you cannot, unfortunately, and you do your 5d6.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah.
And then the table. Yeah, so Darcy takes the pot of 600 gold, looking extremely happy with himself. And you will need to mark off 200 gold from your character sheet, Solstice, for at the end, unless anything else occurs this session along that lines. Well, I think I will get a fresh drink and renew my cup. Back to how about what?
How about you buy me a drink after you just took all my money?
Sure. He takes a gold and flicks it to the other's thumb.
Okay.
Well, Pascal, I shall be returning to the high rollers tables. Now I've come down and slummed it a bit. I will see you later on.
I'm just gonna yell at him, you lying son of a bitch.
You will always remember this as the day that you almost won against me.
I
And
throw a mug at him.
ooh, okay. You throw a mug. Make a improvised weapon attack, I guess.
Go
Which I
with that.
think is just 1d20. No proficiency unless you have a feat.
Okay. 18.
18. Yeah. The mug hits him. Scattering a couple of coins off him. And he looks affronted. You see his instinct. He immediately just puts his hands near his hips and where you can tell he went to just draw a couple of weapons, but patted and found it. The fucking meaning of this! Immediately, Were-Tiger Mobster almost just all but leaps over the thing and steps down and just clears the gap over towards you, and his big hand grabs you by the scruff of your jacket and like near enough lifts you up off your feet a little bit. And do you have a problem here?
Yeah, no one crosses the Moonlit Howl.
Remind me what that is.
The Moonlit Howl is the bunch of smugglers who are all dwarven werewolves.
Oh yeah.
Kind of hoping he would know something. But...
Yeah, so that was me not remembering.
Oh, that's right. I wrote too much detail.
Tigers eat wolves. Little shit. Come on! I'm going to drag you towards the entrance.
I like kick another mug in the direction of the dwarf that's being dragged off.
Yeah. You are dragged. And you see the other guards are on alert, and the others, you see this happen, you notice this happening. That, Solstice is getting dragged.
I'm being loud about it as well.
Yeah? What are you saying?
Yeah. Just every expletive I can think of. I'm screaming.
List them, Mark. For inspiration. List every expletive. Except for one, but we'll get our stream cancelled.
These are horrible people. You Alex, you mad cartographer. I mean, just etc.
You are unceremoniously flung out. Make me a dex saving throw. DC 16 versus landing heavily on your front like in TV.
15.
Poof, like on TV. And he just like... Despicable behavior.
That went well.
Yeah, you are ejected from the casino area. Before we continue, I suggest that we take a 10-minute break, because I see the Mad Cartographer very kindly bought me a whiskey. And I'm sure people want to go and take refreshment. So we'll take 10 minutes, and then we will pick back up. Cheers. We are back. Love apple juice. Okay, so Solstice has been chucked out. Next up, we are back with... Where was Harmonia lurking? Yes. Yep, Harmonia, okay. You had... Oh, I missed that washed out light. Where are we? There we go, that's a bit better, a bit more mood lighting. Yeah, so you see the large casino golem in his suit blocking off a corridor behind him, and then these like goblin bikers next to you.
Psychic damage. Alright, I'm gonna walk as if I'm not gonna walk at all because the game's paused. But my intention is to walk right up as if I am just heading straight past this guy. Does he not let me past?
I'm sorry. Where are you going?
This way. Clearly.
Clearly. You have business in which room?
I am not sure. I was just coming up here to serve drinks. It's my job.
First 2 doors on your left are high roller rooms. Third door on your left is the kitchens.
Oh.
Do you know this?
I do not. I am so new. Thank
New
you for
knowledge
telling
has been
me.
acquired.
Oh, yes. I appreciate you. So the kitchen connects up here. That is good to know. And what is in these high roller rooms?
High stakes games.
Okay, nothing.
My
nothing
senses are
I need to
indicating that
worry
your
about.
breath carries traces of crab. Have
Yes.
you been stealing company property?
Never. I am merely trying it out, making sure that it is good.
On that note, make a Constitution saving throw, please, Harmonia.
Yeah.
I see. Thank you.
How is my tummy feeling, Dio?
Fine for now. You may proceed.
Thank you. And I am going to just kind of open this door and peek in.
Yeah. You have an ornate room of gold trappings and hangings. This is not actually empty, this room. This is,
okay.
I just didn't want to overfill it. There are a number of people sat around this table, all clearly in the middle of a very, very tense game. There are a couple of were-tiger mobsters stood in the corner as well. I am just going to tell you about one of the people at this table. Let's have a look.
I like that the music's different in here.
One of them you see the main person at the table. There's a weird vibe going on in here. The main person sat at the opposite the table is a large, broad, well-built man with a very, very wild head of hair that he's clearly done nothing with. He grins around the table, just deviously, as he just is continuing to rake towards him. This huge pile of gold on the table that must number in the thousands. The two other men and a woman sat around this table they have weird expressions on their faces. They're clearly losing the game. They don't look as unhappy as they should, but they all seem to be quite serious. Make me an insight check. You catch a couple of glances between them that you're confident that the three people who are not the winner all know each other. And you can tell there's some sort of collusion going on here. But as you open the door and that finishes, the heads turn towards you. And the main fella's like, "Drinks! Yes, yes. Won't you join me?" To his fellow gamblers, like, "It's on me. After all, the evening's going so well. Here, darling." Sort of beckons over and and he quite just lazily grabs into his pile and just like quite heavy-handedly puts slaps a handful of coins, gold coins, onto the tray you're carrying, and just lifts a couple of drinks off and for you. More? Shall we carry on? Shall we continue? My luck is running high tonight, it seems.
It's paused again.
And there's not really. You see a couple of them reach for drinks, but they don't speak. His companions. What are you doing, Harmonia?
I'd love to get involved here, but I am trying to solve something, so I'm gonna just tell myself I'm gonna come back to that later.
Okay.
Because that guy seems like he is about to get taken.
Are you going to the next room? The door opens up into a beautiful grove. A copse of trees. There's a lemon tree overhead. You hear bird song. In this room, again, the table is full. There are a couple of guards in here. But in this room, instead, we have... So it's a bit of a mixed table. Are you seeing the chat output here?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realise they'd come out. Oh, well. Well, I feel like it's helpful context for you to have to the situation.
It's still fun, yeah.
Yeah. So you see that we have a very, very uptight-looking, serious half-elf who seems out of place. The rest of his table, a couple of more elves and some half-orc and orcish thugs, and they're all having... Everyone at the table is having a very raucous, good-spirited time, except this one particular half-elf who looks like he's in a situation he'd really rather not find himself. He's assorting with people he really wouldn't like to, but he continues to play the game, and he looks over at your tray and says, "Do you have a whiskey for me? Potentially something rather extreme."
Is there anything left on my tray, Jim?
Couple of champagne flutes, couple of nibbles, not crab puffs. We're going to go with prawn toast to seafood-themed restaurant.
Gross.
No,
But
whiskey
a
here,
little
darling,
a little posh artisanal prawn toast.
No whiskey here, darling. Got some champagne and some. Looks like some shrimp.
My preference would be to whiskey if you could make that happen.
You know what? I'll pop down to the kitchen. I'll come right on back.
Appreciated.
Y'all want anything?
They don't even hear you. They're just backslapping and throwing my coins in and carrying on.
All right. Well, creek don't rise. I'll be back in a minute. And I'm going to head back out the door.
Okay. And at that point, we will we will cycle back round. What was that?
Longest hallway of my life.
We will we will cycle back round to Balthazar. Having been handed the earring by O.
Yeah. Let's see. Sure. So it seems like the general vibe down here is rather calm. Nothing too exciting going on around. People just tending to their games. Other than, I mean, the most exciting part was probably a solstice being thrown out.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think with another character I might have done something interesting, but with this one, I'll just go for a simple option.
I have completed your collect quest.
Balthazar is a simple chap. Not one for intrigue. Yeah, he will give it a moment still. Look towards the lady. I don't recall her name.
Lady Beryl Thornwood. Lord Thornwood's wife.
Beryl? Like the stone? Beryl?
Possibly. Beryl? I don't know if that's stone. I've not heard of that.
I believe so. Yeah, well, either way.
It is, in fact. I was a rock girl as a child. Really cool stone.
As a child.
All right. Yeah, I'll give it a moment, just not to be like she just walked away and he runs towards her immediately after that. So he'll give her a moment to look around.
Yeah, she's engaged. Time. She's engaged in another game now at the table. Which looks to be which looks to be coming to an end.
Sure. Yeah, so I guess Balthazar will wait for that to sort of happen, not to disrupt. Sort of wants her to be unoccupied.
Yeah, you see it comes to its conclusion, and she just looks excited for a moment when you see her sort of try to maintain composure and lean forward and pull a small, tidy little pile of coins towards her, and gives the employee at the table a little bit, just a nod.
Sure. Then as she turns to leave, Balthazar will make his way towards and approach.
Bartholomew.
He'll make a slight bow, like sort of just a nod more than a bow, I suppose. Indeed. How's your luck running, lady?
Small mercies. I have just had a couple of good games, but trying to collect enough to offset the sting of the greater crime that's been visited upon me this evening.
Oh, about that, yes. I mean, on the unlucky side, I don't think we'll have any crime here on our hands. I reckon there's been no foul play. On the lucky side, though, I have noticed one of the employees of the casino walking around holding something twinkly in their hand. And upon approaching, it turned out that it was in fact an earring. I immediately explained the situation, and they were rather apologetic. I believe they found it somewhere else. They've been quite. They really wanted to get rid of it, and they didn't really want to talk about it. It seems so. That was slightly off, but I think that's just a sign.
So you believe an employee lifted it from my person?
I don't know if they lifted it. They said that they found it. I don't have any reason to disbelieve them. It's just that they didn't really, and they sort of produce it. They sort of just gave it away as soon as I explained it.
When she sees it, she's like, "Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!"
It felt irregular because I was sure that they wouldn't just give it to me just on my word, but. Apparently, they did not want to handle it on by themselves and talk to you directly.
Which employee was this you had this interaction with?
Oh, that was a rather strange person. I believe they went upstairs somewhere.
I am extremely, if you'd be so kind, extremely.
Obviously,
thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, bloody brilliant. I was absolutely in a tiz. Marvellous. Bartholomew, thank you so much. Thank you ever so much.
I didn't really do nothing, just noticed
you have returned
a shiny thing. So.
You have returned what was taken from me and have righted a most egregious wrong.
No.
Would you care to join me in the upper level for a refreshment?
I can't really see it. You have mentioned the music, and it does sound delightful. Although from this distance, obviously, one cannot appreciate it properly.
Exactly. I'd be ever so honored if you would join me.
I do have quite sensitive ears.
Ah, yes. Well, does that mean you'd rather not, or? I'm not entirely certain what you're saying there. Are you saying that the sound would not be to your liking, or that you would rather remain down here?
No. I say that to appreciate it properly, I'd like to be closer. It sounds pleasing, even from here.
Then let us be to the upper level. And yeah, as she heads up to the stairs, you see the guard goes to interact with you both, and she's like, "This gentleman is Balthazar, Bartholomew, a renowned detective of no small skill, who has righted a wrong this evening and will be my guest in the upper table. And the mobster just, as you say, Lady Fawnwood, and steps aside.
For a moment, I believed I've earned my promotion to Balthazar.
Yeah, and a similar explanation is given to the guards up here. And yeah, you enter
Evening.
the upper area.
Oh,
Where
shit,
we'll-
it's a lot of bikers.
Where we will pan back to O. Oh.
Oh.
We are back with you.
Oh. Okay, well that went swimmingly. O is just gonna make her way. They still have a tray full of drinks because they haven't really given only one away.
Yeah.
Excuse me, coming through. Excuse me. They're gonna open this door.
Yeah.
Okay. And step in.
You
And
find
close the door.
yourself. You open the door. This is a room that I described before, has a couple of the were-tigers in there. This is the table I described with the shaggy-haired guy and the table
Okay.
of serious-looking people. They all sort of start a little bit and look over their shoulders. The wild-haired figure is sat here. And as he sort of turns around towards you, maybe a perception check.
Ah, crap. Sorry. Perception. Don't fail me, dice. 14.
So that was me. I didn't realize I had you targeted. Yeah, the guards both turn their heads towards you as well, seeing you come in, and no one seems to notice. Well, the guards nor the guy who turned around seem to notice that the woman at the table just leans over and quickly lets something go from like her wrist or her hand over the shaggy-haired man's drink, and then just sits back. You see the other two at the table clearly saw it, but don't react. And the guards have missed it, and the guy whose drink has been affected as...
Oh, it's very lucky the mask doesn't work.
Well, it still wouldn't at this point, yeah.
Okay, that's very lucky, because they wouldn't have been able to, like, not... Okay. Is the man looking like he's going to be taking the drink?
It's about half fill. As you know, he's only had it above the table. He's only had it for a few seconds. I imagine each of these laps are kind of happening nearly concurrently. I know it gets a bit sloppy. But yeah, he looks like he will be returning to that drink, but he gives you a great big smile. It's like, an interesting looking fellow you are, but I've just taken refreshment. You may catch your friend if you take the other door, but we're quite well. Give us 5 minutes in here, yes?
Can I make an insight check?
Sure, what are you trying to insight?
I'm trying to insight if this is a nice person. From, like... As in, you know how, like...
I'm making my on-the-spot judgment whether to intervene or not.
No, you know how, like, you can tell a lot about how people treat waiting staff?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of, like, you know, is there, like, a disdain? Or, like, does he consider himself superior to... go on, make me an insight check for extra detail. But he seems very, very friendly with you. Okay, but yeah, as in, like, so that's 23.
Yeah, he seems like he is in an ecstatically good mood, and isn't disdainful towards serving staff.
Okay, then O is going to go. Oh, okay. And trip, pouring the tray of glasses over the man and spilling the drink. Which might entail a performance check.
Yeah.
Or an acrobatics, I'm not sure.
I'm gonna go with a sleight of hand. To be honest, you're trying to do a specific thing with that. You're trying to do something and not make it look obvious. So I'm gonna say that's a DC 12 sleight of hand check.
Yeah. At the same time,
Oh, okay. That DC might change.
there will be a No, well, it might be a higher. There'll be a telepathic message to the man, saying, "That woman put something on your drink," and that's just what I'm gonna do.
Okay, make me that.
You know what? I've got inspiration. I've got inspiration.
You're meant to declare that before you do it, but go on.
Really?
I think
With
so.
inspiration as well?
Yeah, but go on. You can do it. Burn that inspiration off. That was so nearly a 1 for me again. That was so nearly another 1.
Oh no, that would have been terrible.
You go flying. You knock that drink everywhere. Stuff goes all over. Drinks go over the table. Thankfully, they're using coins, not chips in here, so nothing's really sent flying. But it's just a bit of a mess, and you hear just a rapid patter of liquid running off the table. His drink gets smashed. You just see. He looks amused by it. Until this is a moment before the telepathic message. The 3 others at the table give you the biggest fucking daggers. I want you to make a deception check just against the insight checks I'm going to do for them.
Mm-hmm. I've got negative charisma.
These are all going to be opposed. If any of these rolls are higher, if you roll lower than oh no, so I had you targeted. So the first, 12, 9, and 15 with me, a 7. Okay, you see the 3 figures look at you.
Isn't O the 15?
No, I had a target. You're a 15, are you?
No, but I'm the 15.
All
Deception
of them.
Skills with my -1. That's me.
So all of the... Oh, yeah, yours is coming with a -1. Okay, fantastic. So they look at you, and for a moment you can see there's suspicion, and then there's just...
Blank mask. Blank face.
Yeah. The woman just, wipes this drink. It's just pushes her chair back from this drink that's dripping onto it. It's like, clumsy fuck. Sort this out.
Sorry.
And you see the 3 of them are there's a rapid conversation going on with eye contact now. Between the 3 of them. But yeah. What else are you doing now?
Just a telepathic message.
Yes, of
careful.
course. Yeah.
They're trying. I don't think he can answer. I'm trying to read. It says you're able to speak telepathically to any creature. I'm not sure when.
No, I think they can't speak back. I think it's just easy to bleed into how message works or sending works.
Yeah.
He jerks a little bit when that happens, and you see his demeanor sort of changes quite a lot. Like, I suspect a sign from the gods. A good point to curtail our evening, wouldn't you say? And then you see the 2 were-tigers is like, would you help me bundle this coin? Until next time, fellows. And looks to be starting to wrap up. Like he's sort of getting the coin while he's looking from person to person at this table. As the guards sort of drifted a bit closer just to kind of give a little bit of help. And the 3 of us at the table look very, very serious and rapidly conferring. But yeah, what are you doing?
Has he left the room?
No. But the woman is still looking at you like, today?
I'll be right back. And is gonna go backwards, I guess. And close the... Oh, there's a wall here. Just let me go through. Thank you. And then I'm gonna go here and go through here.
Okay.
Oh!
We will
sorry.
move to Solstice at that point.
Okay.
So you have been rudely ejected.
Okay. There's nowhere to like. There's no like alcoves or. Yeah, this is pretty well visible hall, isn't it, to everyone who's here?
You know there is a door that the staff went through before, but you don't know what lies beyond that.
Okay. I'll sort of make a loud exit and be like, I did want to play here anyway, and go out the like portal. Wait, can I go back in without the card?
We'll say there's a very small window. Do you know what? There's a smoking break-sized window before it closes. You can, as you're going out, but as you're heading towards the entrance, the large robot who like obviously wasn't privy to the altercation, leans forward. He's like, "Where are you going?"
For smoke.
"Give me your hand."
Okay. Which
And
one?
he takes your hand, and with his thumb, just presses down on the top of your hand. As he takes it off, there's a little ink mark of a crown on your hand. He's like, "This will allow re-entry for free in the next 5 minutes."
Okay. Thank you. So I'll step out the portal back into the rock brow, presumably.
Yeah.
And immediately hit the like pin on my lapel and turn into the like fanciest looking 3-green you've ever seen. But my clothes, making sure that my clothes match physically-ish with my normal clothes, so that when I get a pat down, they hopefully won't notice too much.
Okay. Yeah.
So then turn back around and step back through. So
Yeah.
I'm like, all suited and booted as a 3-green.
Yeah. As he stepped back in, I say, just welcome to the Allure Casino, where every day is your lucky day. Please leave all weapons at reception, and I will see them ready until you return.
Nice to see you again, old chap. How are you doing? How's the family? Love to see. And I just put a gold piece down and then start walking.
Sir, do you have any weapons to declare?
No, of
I
course
will
not.
stow-
This isn't my first time.
Very good. He sits back in his chair. The guards...
Sure, old chap.
I'm gonna put a token on you. Oh, no, doesn't have to be that big. There we go. Yeah, the guards give you a pat down. You're not carrying anything more untowards. As they're patting through you, one of them is like, "There is another guest with similar hobbies this evening.
It's quite popular these days.
They have been ejected.
Ooh.
I trust that your behavior will be not as equally raucous as somebody else interested in arcane trinkets."
Of course, anyone interested in this academic behavior would be perfectly polite in all circumstances.
I see. Enter.
Thank you. And then I want to make a beeline for the toilet, but like trying to stay as far away from the tables as possible.
Okay, yeah. You take yourself in that direction. And I will tell you if you go wrong.
Jesus Christ. It's all very... I'm gonna like...
Are you effectively hugging the carpet?
Yeah, I'm going as close to the wall as possible, like kind of
Yeah?
stumbling a bit, like
He's
maybe I have a limp.
On the planter.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, just as I'm walking, I'm just kind of saying to myself, "Oh, my old knee. It's not like it used to be." Just so that like this person can hear the
Yeah?
casino patron.
Yeah, you managed to... Oh, you managed to get to the toilet. Open the door, you immediately hear... Not like this! Not like this!
You're having some trouble there, old chap.
Oh! Crab puffs!
Ah, I see. Yeah, never eat the crab puffs. Oh, jeez. Never eat any casino food. It's a terrible, terrible. I can write you a recommendation if you like.
Recommendation? Are you a doctor?
Sure.
Oh, please, let me. I don't mind telling you. I've got 4 arms and I still can't wipe fast enough, even using all of them.
I might suggest you might find this exercise more pleasant in your own abode.
As soon as I'm able to muster the strength and once I stop sweating, trust me, that's my plan. I don't want to be here. I don't want to. If it's going to happen, I don't want it to be in a casino.
Okay, I guess he's not moving. So you said there was one that was out of order and locked?
Yeah, I mean, and this isn't a locked cubicle that this voice is coming from.
Yeah. Well,
he's not desecrating a urinal and maintaining eye contact.
I'm going to slide over to the out of order one and try and open it.
Yeah, it's locked, but it, as I said to Gigi before, it has the coin. 30 seconds and you can unlock it without even the need for a roll. So yeah, you're able to pop that open.
Which one is it?
The end one.
Okay. Anything unusual in here? Or just
no.
nothing?
It's just a broken shitter.
Okay, then I would like to take out roll out my leather, I don't know what you call it, blanket, and start trying to assemble my 2 guns.
Do you have any check involved in doing that, or is it just a period of time?
Well, it's just flavor, but I think there should be a check, and I think you should roll it secret and not tell me what the result is.
And what happens if it fails?
Well, if I go to use magic and it fails, it doesn't work.
Okay. You've had these a while, haven't you?
I've had one of them a while, and one of them is newer that I've made myself.
So there's 2 that you're making. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to say one's DC 8, the one that you're familiar with. One's DC 10. And I will roll... Which one's the newer one?
The newer one is the one that gives me the telekinetic shelf ability.
Okay, so I'm going to roll these privately. I'm going to do the older one first, and then the newer one, okay? So older one is an 8, new one's 10. So this is the older one. And then this is the newer one. Okay. I have screenshotted those results.
Okay.
And you assemble, you put these together, and you have your blasters reassembled.
When I cast a spell, I'll say which one it goes through so you can tell me.
Yeah.
But I think that would take me at least 10 minutes to do, so it's probably best to go to the next person.
Harmonia. You continue walking down the world's longest corridor.
Mm-hmm. At this point, I'm just going towards these last doors that I see.
Yeah, the double door, which are immediately recognizable as kitchen doors. And you step into a very... Oh, I missed a couple of coins. A very busy kitchen. So quite a lot is going on in here. People are working away. There are a number of fire methods floating around, cooking away. There are 2 main figures in here. There is a huge fire elemental that is working away. It's wearing a chef's hat and is working away at the hob. And there's also an Ifriti, a fire genie, who has a similar hat on, looks extremely unhappy as they're barking orders around. I'd say you also immediately notice a large, thick, glowing manacle around this Ifriti's neck as he's working away. And he looks over towards you and says, "Have you come for wine?"
Actually, I'm supposed to get some whiskey. How y'all doing this evening? And
Same.
Pausing, all wondering more.
Same as it ever was. Whiskey is the bottom shelf. How is it out there?
Man, you step wrong even a little, and those tigers are on you like that. It is a little obnoxious as staff trying to go around. They are just on it, doggone it.
I wouldn't know.
Jim, can I step
And
closer to the table?
I wouldn't know, and just grabs at his collar and gives it a single unhappy tug.
What?
You can.
What's that there, Don? You got some glowing jewelry?
Are you new? Is it literally
I'm
your
very
first
new.
day?
It is my first day here, but like you know, I've been around town. Like I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night.
Which agency are you through?
I am a freelancer.
Oh.
Self-employed, thank you. I am a self-made woman.
I used to be self-employed.
You under contract, or is this just a fashion show?
I was. I'm no longer allowed to leave to my plane. I am bound here by Mr. Big.
Like against your will?
This is not jewelry. It binds me to this plane.
Can I vibe check everyone else in here?
Everyone else in here is an elemental. There are no other people in here currently. Fire methods and a fire elemental.
Intense looking sous chef guy here.
That's who you're talking to.
Oh, who's the big flaming guy?
That's a fire elemental.
Oh, all right. So I'm talking to this guy,
and
this
everyone,
dude is just rocking
that
look.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. I've amended that now, so their names should show up better for you. By better, I mean at all. Yeah, Gordon Ramsay is his name.
Well, now that's just ridiculous.
Indeed, but it is magical, and it cannot leave this kitchen, so I have not left this kitchen in 4 years, 3 months.
No.
2 weeks, 5 days.
I thought there was anti-magic all around here. You can't... Are you
There's
stuck in
nothing-
this kitchen?
I am.
You can't even go... How do you go to the bathroom? You know what? That was a rude question, and
I am an element
Don't
of
you
pure
worry about
fire. I do not have a penis.
Well, I wasn't inquiring as to your plumbing. Just more wondering if you had everything you needed. But all right, we're better friends now. Hi, I'm Harmonia, but you can call me Harm. We have been bonded through this last 2 minutes. What did you say your name was?
Gordon Ramsay.
That is a fantastic name. Yard. Or do you want me to say the whole thing? Is that a whole thing, or you got like a little bit of it that I can just shout out?
Ramsay is fine.
Ramsay. All right. Well, listen, I got some business I'm about here, but this is just ridiculous. You mind if I take care of that for you?
It can only be removed by magic. I have tried with every...
Oh, yeah, no, you see, I got this friend, and he helps me out sometimes, and I was just wondering if I could just pop that off you, with a little help from him.
Everything elemental in the kitchen just kind of pauses for just a second before continuing its work. And he's like, if you can release my bindings, I can release their bindings. And you would have
Well,
my
that-
gratitude.
They're bound to? All right. Well, this is just.
They are bound to me,
I'm betting.
and I am
I'm
bound
betting
to this room by this collar.
Are they bound to you willingly?
Yes.
Or is this like a whole pyramid scheme type of thing?
I was encouraged to draw upon them for a time, as is the relationship between the beings of fire. But then I was bound.
Y'all willingly follow him? I'm just going to look around at everyone else.
The fire elemental sort of turns.
All right, I'm just going to
Sorry,
reach
sorry.
out and touch his neck then and cast a spell magic. See if that works.
Let me just double check the requirements.
If it doesn't, then I'm up shit creek without a paddle.
Yeah. So you cast Dispel Magic, and you see the it glows for a moment, the collar, before and just falls to the floor and falls off. And Ramsey's just
I'm going to reach down and just pick that up.
and like in all the cooking just stops.
Oh,
And they all sort of turn. They all sort of turn towards him. It's like
Imagine.
this feels very good that you have been able to so casually end years of captivity.
Well, I mean, I would say there's nothing to it. However, I mean, there was a great thing to it. I don't think you should have been bound to any one room. What a horrible, horrible thing to do.
Neither
Mr.
do
Big.
I.
Well, listen, I mean, I don't know if you enjoy cooking and want to just keep doing it of your own volition, but
I enjoyed
I
it
am-
before I had no choice. Now
You
my
know-
choice will be to burn this place to the ground before I return home.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. If I were you, I'd be madder than a cat getting baptized. But I'm gonna try. Do you happen to know if there is any way to go into Mr. Big's office without like alerting the tigers or the big gods?
Tiger flesh burns quite easily. And he, I was just sort of talking to him a little bit, and now this collar's off. And he's looking a bit more, and it's sort of like stretch it out a little bit. He is growing a bit. His form is just sort of like
Getting good stretch in there. I can see that. You've been shrunk down all this time, just forced into a little box. Listen, I'll be honest. I am here for some two balls to run a ship and some keys to a ship. I don't know if you've seen them, but I was told they were going to either be in the vault or in Mr. Big's office, and my goal is to get them and then skedaddle.
I will do you this service. What is your name?
Harmonia, Harm. You can just call me Harm for short.
You have released us all from captivity. We will aid you.
Well, now, you're not bound to me. I won't have any of that.
We'll never be
But
bound
if you're
again.
just wanting to help out of the sweetness of your heart, that's fine.
We will burn everybody between here.
I mean,
And
I'm not
your
going to get in
office.
your business. You know, I'm just going to be about mine. If you want to help, then that's great. But otherwise, I'll just get to it. I assume that door over there leads back down into the staff room.
Indeed. I will offer you this freedom. Shall I take my revenge now, or would you like to signal us when it is time? I can tolerate waiting here a few minutes longer.
Oh, well, you know, common sense is not a flower that grows in every garden, but I've got a little bit of it, and I want to say that I should probably check with my friends before I just go on with any plan. However, I also feel like you've been sitting in here just like a cat pacing, in a cage, and I just want to let you do you.
We are patient. We will wait until you shout, Ramsey. Then we will erupt like a volcano.
You know what? That is how good is your hearing though? Because I don't want to get somewhere and be shouting and not having you hear me.
I can hear everything that is happening in this casino right now.
You know what? That sounds fantastic. I will do that. I'll go back.
Because if you have to step away in 5
down.
minutes, I'm not having you open a floodgate and then be like, "Have fun dealing with that, party. Bye."
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go about and see if I can't meet up with my friends, and then I will be calling your name to let you know you are free to just let it
So
fire,
the trigger is established when Harmonia shouts Ramsey. All the fire elementals will burn a bloody path towards Mr. Big's office. With that being said, let's pan back around to Bartholomew, as he is now known.
That is me. We're enjoying the music in the upper spheres.
So yes, Lady Beryl Thornwood has led you up here. He's like, do try to avoid interacting with the bikers. They are uncouth ruffians, and I fear that they are not law-abiding as an officer, such as yourself. Where did you serve? On the rock here, or other climes?
Oh, no. I'm quite new to the rock. Oh, wait. Would she even know that I'm from the rock?
No, but she said it.
Sure.
So she could maybe she is and is making the assumption.
Yeah, that's fine.
Would you care for a refreshment? Do you want to just listen to music, or do you want to indulge in a game? Although we will be sharing the table with, for the most part, lesser company.
Seems that way. To be perfectly honest, I haven't seen this part, so I'm happy to.
Oh, it's quite delightful. The drinks are also wonderful
bit.
up here. Excuse me, you. She calls over to O, who has been following you. Who's come in behind them.
Mm-hmm.
I say, could we please have two? What are you drinking, Bartholomew?
Oh, good question. Well, I've some wine, maybe could be.
Oh, no, heavens no! Simply not in a place like this. You must try their banana daiquiri. Two banana daiquiris, please.
Oh, is gonna.
Sounds sweet.
Trust me, Bartholomew.
Oh, I don't know the way.
Is
I don't know the way from the kitchen.
that out loud or to you? That Gija?
Oh,
I say, you can understand me, can't you? Two banana daiquiris, please.
Step back.
Thank you. Please, Bartholomew, be seated. It plays by itself. It's absolutely charming.
It's quite something. An enchantment, I imagine.
Yes. Unless there is, say, a little person inside who is playing the keys.
This would be quite something, but well, they do have the automatons. I don't know how much technical and how much magical they are. Seem to be a combination of both.
Well, my husband, Lord Thornwood, once told me that they cannot approach the. Oh, bless you! Did you sneeze? Would you like a tissue?
You know.
That strange noise. My husband, Lord Thornwood, informed me that the reason they have these unseemly yet frightfully effective tiger men is because the automatons cannot approach the tables, and given the tables are enchanted to prevent magic, therefore it would seem to me that perhaps the automatons are magic.
That would indeed follow. Interesting.
Do you think I could be a detective?
I mean, I imagine you could be whatever you wanted to be, lady.
I'm
If you put
detecting
your mind
that
to it.
I'm detecting that you're flattering me, Lord Bartholomew, and it will get you very,
Lord
very far.
Bartholomew. Polite smile and a nod. I'm trying to get a little bit of a gauge on it. Like, she seems interested. Does it seem like she's generally bored with the place? Like, she's not really too excited?
No, she looks like she's
About it.
basking and being. She's really the
Okay,
opposite.
I
She's very
see.
much enjoying being here and being seen here and being. You can tell that this is absolutely someone who is a collector, a social collector, and that she is soaking up as much of you as she can. Not because she's enjoying your company, but because she can't wait to be talking about the huge gift detective who recovered her stolen necklace.
Perfect. Yeah, so she seems to be a little bit of a thrill seeker.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Do we go for risky plays? Sure. Yeah.
Hey, Lady Formwood, you ever do it in a casino? It's like, I say.
Not like that. Yeah. Yeah. For now, I think I would just Bartholomew would just politely continue with a little bit of chit chat, just looking around, almost too much, like sort of for show that he's like very cautiously pacing the place.
And you'll see the goblins definitely notice you. They're in two sort of separate groups, so it isn't like they're communicating with each other. But you'll see that it's spotted that you're looking at them, and they're looking at you occasionally. You see a couple of appraising ups and downs.
Yeah, like it's more of a show towards the lady, that's like so that she notices that he's like very about something. Like,
Yeah.
His attention is split.
Yeah.
She's very, very interested in everything around.
Are you tired of the upper floor?
No, by no means, no. It's pretty spectacular. I shouldn't say really, but I'm on a bit of an assignment, he says in a hushed tone.
Oh, you must tell me. Oh, can you tell me? I don't know if you can tell. You must tell me.
Well,
How frightfully exciting.
Well,
My husband, Lord Fawnwood, is often privy to all manners of confidential and things of the highest import. So I'm very, very used to hearing such things and not telling anybody about it. I've kept all sorts of things to myself.
oh, interesting. Oh, this is sort of a big thing and it relates to Mr. Big, so it's only fitting, I suppose.
The proprietor!
Oh, yes, indeed.
Scandalous. I feel like Gigi
Right,
can't handle my posh voice.
I can't. It's so good. I love it. Please continue.
Well, you see, there seems to be a shade of a suspicion that there has been some slightly unlawful appropriation of quite a big thing, as in a whole helm, the jamming ship.
Oh? Well, he does have criminal connections, you're aware. The Tigers are not a charitable group.
Yes, I know. Yes, the establishment is somewhat reputable in a way. I don't know how much could be tied to it directly. And this sort of would be very
So he's stolen the front portion of a ship. How will they put it back together? Where are they keeping it?
Well, that is a very good question, and there have been 2 leads I have sort of received. I don't know how big Mr. Big's quarters might be.
Well, I mean, they're just over there, is my understanding, with the window, keeping an eye on all things at all the time when he's not treading the floors.
I see. Well, that doesn't look like it could be that big, but I imagine a place like this would have an enormous vault.
One would imagine. One would imagine there is all manners of storage for treasure and valuables. My understanding from my husband on forward is that sometimes people offer up larger things, such as you say, the front portion of a ship, rather than just chips or coins. I would imagine such things can't be kept in a safe, can they? They would require a somewhat larger storage. Although, here we are. Who's to say?
Who's to say indeed? Larger things, yeah, that is a solid thought. So
I once read a fantastic series, a small series of novella about an artificer named Professor Ware, and he had a bag within which a space that made no sense was able to accommodate items he'd procured in his travels.
Fascinating. Haven't heard of that, certainly. Sounds intriguing. So Mr. Big's office is the vault. Well, where would I put a vault? Maybe. He'll sort of drift away a little bit with his thoughts. Try to just
if you would not mind, I need to go and powder my nose for a moment. Would you mind my daiquiri when this frightfully slow employee, when this frightfully slow employee returns? Would you champion of my daiquiri for a moment?
Obviously.
No, don't you have yours without me, though. I want to see your reaction as you have your first sublime sip of that potassium potion. And she drifts off towards the loos. We will do one last visit to O, one last visit to Solstice, and then we will wrap up. So yeah, I will let you. I will let you go and get your drink very, very quickly as part of your action. If you don't want that to.
Well, I was going to ask. Yeah, okay, I'll go get the drink, but the kitchen's now. If I go to the kitchen, that's where Harmonia is.
Harmonia, we can say you've happened just as she's left, if you want, because she was about to leave anyway. So if you want to, or if you... I'd say you could bump into her and chat, but she's obviously not here to take part in that. So we can say that you've arrived just before or after she's had her interaction, and you're able to get your drinks. The fire elementals are waiting in there anyway, so it isn't like you're going to trigger anything. You are able to get in and get your daiquiris and just go back and deliver them. Just so our last visit to you isn't fulfilling an NPC's obligation and not getting to do what you want.
But what an NPC. Okay, so I'm going to, not finding Lady Beryl, I will bring the drinks to Balthazar.
Yeah. So you're sat by Balthazar as she pulls up next to you.
I think I saved someone's life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, good on you. Will they be useful in any way? Was that just a charitable gesture?
I haven't seen them again.
No.
But...
No. See. I have at least learned where Mr. Big's offices are.
Where?
Which one was that? Because she pointed it towards Bartholomew.
It's just this, so you'll see this rounded glass window, but you can't see through. It's a mirror to you. It's a mirror all the way around. And the mirror's tall enough that I imagine it's fairly obvious, but it's almost certainly a one-way mirror.
No.
Okay.
That would be.
And do you know what's over behind me?
Unfortunately, no. I don't think she knows where the vault might be. Unfortunately, seemed to be quite uncertain about that one.
I'll go have a look.
They could have a pocket dimension within this, could they not? Like something. Maybe there's an outer space from this one connected to this. I don't know. Well, either way, the vault remains a mystery for now.
You raise a very valid question, actually, about what happens that we should have occurred of in writing this adventure for Crucible. In that, what happens if any sort of pocket plane is opened in this casino? Yeah. Okay.
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Wait. All right. Well, any ideas on how to follow from that? She
I
seems
was
quite-
going to turn into a spider.
Oh,
But
an O spider. Okay.
But
Cool.
everyone, there's so many people around, I can't do it. I was trying to get into a room by myself, but all the rooms have people in them. I'm just gonna check what's behind this corner, and I'll tell you.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Carry on then.
Go around the corner.
Yeah. The music sort of fades as you leave the piano.
He's gonna go up this staircase. And open this door.
So, you open the door, and you see a panoramic one-way window rings around the outer walls of this room. 6 small platforms encircle the wall, with rigid blank-faced security constructs standing on each one. By the sounds of blow from electricity and the wires plugged in, you can see that these guards are either on standby or are possibly even recharging. There is a rectangular window inlaid into the middle of the table against the opposite wall. So you have what is basically this table in the middle has what is effectively the D&D description of like a CCTV screen.
Okay. Close the door. What's here? Is this the CCTV controller?
Yeah, with just some chips on the table as well.
And nothing else?
Correct.
Okay. Oh, I really wish C3RO was here. Is that the Pink Panther soundtrack?
No, but it's similar. It is similar.
It's so good. Like that bass.
This is part of Zio's commercial use jazz playlist, but I've used for like 101 things. What is your passive perception now?
I'm a druid. Oh, it doesn't say. What is it usually? Is it like 10?
I've got it. You've got 17. You see
18.
Tucked underneath the corner of like the CCTV screen, for lack of a better word, the slight hint of a corner of folded parchment that's been tucked underneath it.
Passcode. Grab it.
You open
So the
it.
pod's 10 feet.
Yeah?
Pull it.
You see, just scrawled on this, eye in the sky.
Great movie. Okay. I'm gonna touch I want to see if I can find a control for the CCTV camera.
If there's no control, it is just a screen. You see no peripherals, no devices. no anything. It is just a blank screen.
And it doesn't change? Like, it's always the same image? Like, it doesn't...
It's
circle.
black, almost like it's off.
Eye in the sky?
Zoof, it comes on.
Woo! Show me the vault!
Zoof, it changes. You suddenly see a room, a simple room that has a clear red laser beams spanning all the directions, very entrapment style, and a large red eye emblazoned on the floor of the room. You see a single door at one end of the room and a large vault, big iron bank door in the wall on the opposite side. But you see it from up in a corner of the room. There are no windows. You can't get a gauge for where this could be situated, but yeah, you've immediately been shown the vault.
This sounds... okay, if it's there, it's gonna stay there. Show me Mr. Big's office. Okay. Deactivate security guards.
Nothing happens.
Okay. See no guards. Okay. Okay. Show me high roller rooms.
Zip, and then you just see a rapid zip, 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 and it keeps cycling through a number of rooms. The sort of Greco-Roman one that you saw. So it looks like a lovely little wooded glade with a table that's made from a natural tree stump in the middle. One that looks like it's in a fairground carnival with twinkling flashing bulb lights around the outside, and one that looks like it's on a beautiful beach with a full wall aquarium teeming with fish and net and ropes above, and it keeps rapidly cycling between all four. You see all
Is the
of
man
them.
there?
That room is now empty.
Empty.
Yeah. But the others all have groups in, and it's just cycling through all four.
God. Show me entrance to vault.
It jumps and shows just a long stretch of corridor with a slight curve to it and a number of doors coming off it, and nothing else distinguishing, just a length of curved corridor.
God. Show me entrance of vault. Zoom out.
It takes a slight second to sort of calculate, and you see an area with a guard stood with his arms folded, one of his large robots. Next to him, nearby, sitting down, you see a small gnome and a 3-screen, and you're able to identify that those are the people sat just outside the room you're in. So you're able to ascertain that the vault is down and around the corner from where you were sat. And I think that's a good point. That's a good point for us to pan to Solstice.
Okay.
Solstice.
Okay.
In the bogs, haven't put your guns together.
Okay, so slide them back into their holsters, which should disappear under the disguised self.
Okay, yeah.
And I make my way back to the door. Come on, man, you're being a bit dramatic. I can't move. Pause.
Sorry, yeah.
Thank you. Can I get out the toilet? Oh, that's fine. There we go. Okay, so still looking like 3 cream. Step back onto the floor, and I see Mr. Darcy Dwarf there, and I'm just going to start following him up to the high roller?
To be fair, time has moved on. You've been thrown out and goodbye. He's not stood in there since. It's just me not having a full movement path for absolutely everybody. Yeah, he's definitely gone by this point.
So I'm just absolutely hugging the walls and trying to walk up
Yeah?
the stairs.
Yep, you're able to do that.
Okay.
And there is a door on your right. Or you can keep passing round.
I think I will.
This young woman would have passed you on the stairs just as you're heading down. Just gives you a polite nod.
Mhm. Good day to you.
Yes, and you.
And then I guess I'll stop here and just sort of take a bead around me to see where everyone is, because I probably missed quite a lot of what.
So by this point, you can see Balthazar just sat up there, facing like a piano stage, listening to the music. That's all you can see with a cursory glance. Although we will pick up next time the fact that would notice you walk by. Well, no, she wouldn't, because she hasn't seen who you've turned into. Yeah, so you can't see anyone at the moment. Balthazar is up there, but even if he's facing this way, he doesn't know you. Harmonia is not here. Is not here. You seem to be alone in the casino at this moment, other than Balthazar up on the stage, well, in the seating area.
Okay, seeing there are two tables either side, I think I'd probably go up to Balthazar. If I can, yeah. That's it. Oh, hello, old fellas. How you doing?
This area is off limits.
But I have coin.
How much coin do you have on you, sir?
So I'm going to reach into my jacket and with minor illusion, make my coin pouch look really, really full. So at the moment...
Beaver goes, Quaint. Yes, quaint. This area is invitation only. Membership from Mr. Big, or as an accompanied guest. Good day. You may return and commence your gambling in the lower casino.
But that's my friend, the tall chap over there. I was meaning to join him.
Just look up towards him and look back. Unlikely. He is a guest of Lady Beryl Thornwood. Lord Thornwood's wife. Good day.
Okay. Yeah, I'm turn around.
I'm waiting for a point in this where Solstice just goes, fuck it. Bye.
I'm very close, but I don't want to ruin everyone else's subterfuge. I think Solstice doesn't know what to do and is leaning towards that plan, but is just waiting to see if something else is going to happen in the next few minutes. So I think he would just stop there. Where he can see everything.
Well, with many pieces starting to come into play, I think we'll call it there. We have Balthazar working the noble woman. Not entirely sure what his end game is there. I don't know if when we get next round to him, if he's going to dart now that she's away or what his plan is. We have O, who has successfully got the CCTV system pointing her towards the vault and has managed to reverse track that to find how to get to the vault. And we have Solstice, who is on guard, waiting to see what happens. And Harmonia, who's about to unleash a coup of elemental fire and lead to the burning of the entire casino. So everyone's taken slightly different approaches. We have our next session booked in already. It's in just under a month. We will pick up part 2 of this then. But otherwise, yeah, thank you very much for joining us for another Spelljammer. We may have a couple of people, if our other 2 players make it next time, they might just find their way into the casino. Commodore Crooks find a couple of spare costumes, uniforms maybe. But yeah, we will pick up next time. Thank you for my hydrate, Nikki. I'll hydrate not with whiskey.
And thank you, Nikki, for being there.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you very much, everybody, and we will see you next time.
Bye.